That's Cactus Music in Houston, Texas. I was just in there buying some stuff, so let's see what I got. Greetings, y'all. Today we're going to look at my visit to Cactus Music in Houston, Texas. I've been there before a couple of times. It's been a couple of years though. I always picked up some decent stuff when I visited there, and so I had a day off here and I decided to make the haul from Lafayette out to Houston and stop at Buc-ee's on the way, get me some Beaver Nuggets. But I went there, and when I first got to Cactus, I was going through the CD section right when you walk in, and it's mostly like the new stuff. And at first I was like a little, kind of disappointed. I wasn't really finding anything, and I was starting to go like, geez, should I have really come all the way out here? And then I started finding, I found a couple of things, and then I also dug through, like they have like a used CD, like $3, everything $3 bin, and that's where I started finding some stuff. And then I went digging through the vinyl, which is in the other side of the store, and found some cool stuff over there. So without further ado, let's see what's in my bag from Cactus Music. From 1995, we get, this is Teen C Power by Biz. I have, I think, one or two CDs by Biz. Kind of, that stuff sort of hedges more towards like electronica, I guess. And this I found, like I mentioned, they have the $3, everything $3 bins at Cactus, and this was in that. And I decided to like take a gamble on it, $3, you know. I like some of the other stuff that I have by them, but I had this weird feeling. There are two records I bought from Cactus that I kind of was really like, I have a feeling these are going to be disappointing, and this was going to be one of them. I thought this was going to be one that I was like, I probably could have passed on this, but it's actually pretty good. I really kind of like it. It's got more of a garage rock kind of sound to it, or a garage band kind of sound to it, other than like dance electronica stuff. But there's a little bit of that in there, but it sounds a little bit more like a garage. This might be their first record. I'm not positive. This might be the first one. This was released on Grand Royal, which was the Beastie Boys record label. So, you know, kind of figuring if the Beastie Boys liked it, I'm gonna take a shot on it. But it like I said, it surprised me. I really thought I was gonna be like, I should have not have picked that up. But I really ended up really liking this one. A couple of the tunes on here that I liked were Kill Your Boyfriend, Candy Pop, Burn the Suit. I think even Teen C Power, the last track, I think I kind of liked too. There's only 6 tracks on this one, but yeah, like I said, it surprised me. I'm really happy that this one ended up being a good pickup for me. From 1987, we get Los Lobos by the Light of the Moon. I remember when this came out the same year as the La Bamba soundtrack, which really kind of, was a huge success for those guys. And I don't know how this did. I don't know if this came out before or after La Bamba, but I wonder if that La Bamba success kind of, had any impact on how this did sales-wise. But Los Lobos is interesting because I remember them being around. I remember back in the 80s seeing the artwork for Will the Wolf Survive? Did I get that right? Will the Wolf Survive, right? And I remember there being kind of a push, probably by Warner Brothers for that band. And, until La Bamba, which was tied to the movie and everything, like they kind of were just there. It didn't seem like they really exploded out of the gates, or maybe had the big success maybe that the label thought. And I remember hearing some of their stuff back then, but I really never got into it. And then recently, like within the last maybe 3 or 4 years, I picked up their album Kiko. I heard like a track from that, I think the title track, and I really liked it. And I was like, oh, that's Los Lobos. And then I think I was in Record Surplus in Los Angeles and Santa Monica, and found that CD in like the bargain bin, like $1.99 or something, and I was just like, wow, why not? And picked it up, and I put it on, and it's just like even like on shuffle, and like I just have iTunes on shuffle of like new stuff I picked up. Like a song would come up, I'm like, oh, this is really good, I like this, and I go, oh, it's Los Lobos, you know. Lately I've just really been kind of grasping what a really good band they were, and that's why when I saw this at Cactus, I was like, you know, the 2 CDs I have by them I really like, and I was like, let me take this one, you know, give it a shot. And again, I'm really happy with it. I'm thinking I got to start picking up some more of their stuff, you know. The tracks on here I really dig. One Time, One Night is awesome. I don't know if that was a single. It should have been. If it wasn't, that sounds like it could have been a hit. Shakin' Shakin' Shakes, Is This All There Is was good. Set Me Free, that I feel like was a single, because I feel like I did hear that one back when this came out. I really enjoyed this CD through and through, and looking forward to digging in a little more into it and hearing it, listen to it a couple more times. Lately with these videos, a lot of times I'm out on the road, I buy these CDs and I get home and I have this whole stack of CDs I gotta watch, and sometimes I've been doing these videos and I haven't even gotten around to listening to even suggest what tracks I like or if it was even a good purchase. But lately, the last couple of visits to stores, what I've been doing is, like, before I make these videos, I'm making it a point to like listen to all these CDs beforehand, which I think is helping me, because I still have like a stack of CDs that I have to get through from previous trips and visits to other stores or buying stuff online. And you know, so it's good that I'm able to catch up this way and listen to it. So like this one, I'm looking forward. I've only listened to it once, but you know, at least half the tracks I really dug, and so I'm really looking forward to going back and you know, giving this a few more listens. And like I said, I'm gonna dig into their discography. Can't speak today. And you know, maybe pick up a couple more, because I'm really becoming a huge fan of these guys. 2002, we get the Teardrop Explodes and the collection. This is a best of put out by this band which I had never heard of. And the other night I watched a video by a fellow YouTube record collector by the name of the Omaha Introvert. Her name's Hannah. She's got a really good bunch of videos on there if you want to check her out. She put up a video of like her favorite records from 1980, and she mentioned this band. And then the next day I go to Cactus and I'm just, you know, thumbing through the bins and I see this, and I was like, you know what? She has good, really good taste in music, a lot of similar taste of myself. And so I said, yeah, I'm gonna take a gamble on it, you know. And it's a good one. It's Julian Cope, who you may know. If you don't know him, you may know him from World Shut Your Mouth, was his kind of like really big success in, I think that was like the late 80s. It was the early 90s or late 80s. I want to say late 80s, but that's where I became aware of him. And I've heard a few of his solo things through the years and kind of liked it, but I'd never heard of this band, didn't even know he was in a band before this, and until watched her video and she mentioned it. So, you know, those two things kind of had me curious, so I picked this up. And again, I was kind of like nervous, like, oof, man, I hope this doesn't come back to bite me. But it's really good. It's kind of, I guess, kind of like new wave and like post-punk sort of sound, you know, to it. There's like quite a few horns mixed into the songs, which I actually think they did a really good job using horns in this case. They don't sort of overpower the tunes, and they really kind of add like a nice element to the songs when they use them. I think they use them like perfectly, if that makes any sense. I'm not really good with all that. I'm not a musician, so I'm not really good with that kind of music terminology. I'm really happy with this one. And as you can see, Cactus, they don't sell used CDs, they sell pre-loved CDs. Familiar with Julian Cope and you didn't know he was in a band previously, you might want to check this out. Or if you like just kind of new wave, like early 80s kind of post-punk sort of stuff, check this out. Some of the tunes on here that I really dug. Reward, which I think was like the big song from their career. Bent Out of Shape I liked. Colors Fly Away. Count to 10 and Run for Cover. That's always good advice. Brave Boys Keep Their Promises. Yeah, some really good tunes on here. I really like it. I gotta give it a couple more listens, see if there's some other ones that I dug that I am missing out on. But, you know, really good. I'm really happy with this one. From 1986, we get Shriekback. Big Night Music. Really good band. I'm probably in the minority where they had this stretch of 3 records in the mid to late 80s that I really liked, this being the middle one. And I first became aware of them, I've talked about this before, I first became aware of them watching a music video channel. We had a local music video channel called U68. They played Nemesis, probably 1985. I saw the Nemesis video, and I've mentioned this multiple times. It gave me nightmares. It's a creepy video, but a great song. I love that song. And picked up that record and started to kind of become a fan. And then this came out. The first single off of this was Gunning for the Buddha. And I remember picking up the 45. I talked about it and showed it in another video that's somewhere on here of the 45s I still have left. But I love that song. And then I got this on CD a handful of years ago, but I was in Cactus, saw this. It was pretty cheap. It's like $5 or $6. And I decided to pick it up. And it's a good record. I like I said, those 3 records from like the mid to late 80s I like. This one I think is like the songs aren't maybe as strong as those other 2 records. The other 2 I'm talking about are Oil and Gold and Go Bang. But it's got some good ones. It's really kind of like this, they're kind of like new wave or like post-modern alternative, very like atmospheric kind of sound to them, you know. You know, the lead dude, Barry Andrews, like he sounds like he should be doing like voiceovers for like horror movies or something, man. Just the way he sings and the way he, you know, pronunciates every word like perfectly. It's like, it's just this kind of unique thing that I really like. Black Light Trap is really good. And of course, Gunning for the Buddha, Running on the Rocks, Underwater Boys is pretty good. Sticky Jazz is kind of cool. I like that one. But yeah, Shriekback, you know, I dig them. You know, they've been doing a bunch of stuff during the pandemic. Like digging into their archives. They put out something. I talked about in another video as well, where they digitally released some old stuff from like the early 80s. During the pandemic. It seems like maybe they're working on some new stuff. I'm not sure, but happy with that pickup. 2001, we get Basement Jaxx and Rooty with the gorilla on the cover eating a plant. My introduction to this band was, of course, when this record came out with the song Where's Your Head At. I feel like maybe I must have seen it on like Much Music or something, a video, or maybe it was used in some commercials or something. I just remember that song being around a lot, and I really liked it. I even used it for like a video for some friends and stuff. Really cool tune, kind of like, you know, electronica sort of stuff. And so I'm digging through like that $3 bin at Cactus, and I see a couple other CDs by Basement Jaxx, and I'm just like, you know, I'm not really sure. I don't know any other stuff, you know, other than Where's Your Head At? And then I see this one with Where's Your Head At on it, and I said, you know what, I'm going to take a gamble on that, $3. And like I mentioned earlier, like the Biz record and this record were the 2 where I was like, I feel like there's a good chance I'm going to be disappointed with them. And when it comes to this one, I was... just really didn't get into it at all. That Where's Your Head At really stands out on this CD as the highlight, without a doubt. It easily is the best tune on here, no question. And I was going through the whole CD and just like none of it was, it's very kind of like dance oriented, kind of disco-y. And you know, I don't have dislike for that stuff, but it's got to be a really good, catchy tune in that vein to interest me. And none of these were doing anything for me. And then, you know, 9 tracks in, we get to Where's Your Head At? And I'm like, man, this is gonna be, you know, $3 I just paid for that one song. And I was really disappointed. And then at the end, there were like, I think the last 2 tracks, Do Your Thing and All I Know ended up, you know, being okay. They're not bad. Do Your Thing, I think, was pretty good. I kind of like that one. All I Know was all right. But, you know, like I said, just really kind of disappointed with this one. You know, I kind of knew that going in, that there was a chance this was going to be like a waste of $3 in a sense. I mean, it's just not my thing. I'm not trying to suggest this is horrible and this band is just terrible or anything. I mean, if it's this music you dig, you might like that kind of stuff, but it just wasn't doing anything for me. And it's one of those things that you kind of take a gamble with this. Luckily, $3, whatever, I can live with that. It's, you know, if I paid $15 for it, I'd be a little upset, but you know, $3, whatever. But it's one of those things where it's like there's, you know, you're digging through those $3 bins, and there's a couple other things I can think of that were in there that I kind of passed on because I'm trying not to go crazy spending money on stuff because you know, times are tight. I think of like, oh, you know, instead of this, I could have bought this one or that one. Maybe it would have been better to pick one of those up. Maybe they would have been better records to grab instead of this, but what can you do? You know, I took a gamble and didn't really pay off, but you know, that's Basement Jaxx, you know. So, you know, I was always kind of curious how the rest of or other stuff by this band sounded, and now I kind of know, and probably won't be digging into their other selections anytime soon. That's my score at Cactus Music. Really good shop, cool place. You know, if you're ever in Houston area, it's definitely the place to go for digging for some music and stuff. Really great selection of vinyl, and the prices are pretty good. And like I said, that $3 CD bin is really good. They have a huge vinyl section, bargain section of like 97-cent vinyl too. It's just, at that point, like, I was just like, had all this stuff in my hands, and I was like, you know, I gotta get out of here. I don't want to go digging through all that stuff. Who knows what maybe is lurking in there. But by all means, leave me some comments. Let me know what you think of these records, or, you know, try to convince me the Basement Jaxx CD is better than I think it is. But thanks for watching, and we shall see you next time. Later, y'all.